Hello students, I am Mrs. Shaista Momin. Will teach you physics. Let us start with the first chapter of physics, nothing but rotational dynamic. In this chapter, first and foremost, you will have to recall something that you will have studied in past standard. First is circular motion. Obviously, we are going to recall it. Second is kinematical equation. And the third is what are the real forces and pseudo forces. So before starting all this thing, let us first understand the meaning of rotational and dynamic. Rotation is nothing but it's a type of motion. You might have seen the rotation of fan. The earth is rotating about its own axis. There are various examples of rotational motion. Anything which can spin about its own axis or the object which perform motion about its own axis of rotation will be called as rotational motion. And dynamic, the word dynamic is nothing but motion. So here in this first chapter we are going to discuss the rotational motion. Before starting the rotational motion, let us recall the things which you have studied in past standard. First one is circular motion. What do you mean by circular motion? Circular motion is nothing but, consider one object which is standing at point A, situated at point A. Let us consider another point in a space, say point B. When the object moves from point A to point B along the straight line path AB, we will say that the object has performed linear motion. Similarly, if the path followed by the object is not straight, if it is a circle, then we can say that the object is describing a linear path which is in the form of circumference of a circle. So object is moving along the circumference of a circle. We will say that this type of motion is nothing but the circular motion. Very common example is revolution of earth. So motion of the object along the circumference of a circle is called as circular motion. You can see, you can take various examples. Moon is revolving around the earth. Earth is revolving around the sun. Electrons are also revolving around the nucleus, positively charged nucleus, in a circular orbit. So all this motion will come under the circular motion. So in the circular motion you all have studied various parameter which is nothing but the radius vector. If O is the center of a circle, then a line which is drawn from the center to the position of the particle, suppose the particle is situated at point P. So this line, the line which is drawn from the center to the position, it's a directional line. This line is called as a radius vector. Second thing that you have studied in the circular motion is angular displacement theta. Angular displacement theta, again consider the same example. Let the particle move from point P to point P dash. It will describe a circle, arc of a circle. Say this arc of a circle, length of this arc is S. You will see that the radius vector has changed its direction from OP to OP dash. Let the angle described by the radius vector at the center is theta. We will say that this much angular displacement is done by the particle as observed by the observer sitting on the center. So this angular displacement is nothing but angle traced by radius vector in a short time interval. Now you will have seen what is the relation between angular displacement, and this is S is a linear displacement. So what is the relation? Both the quantities are analogous, theta and S. This is angular and this is linear. So angular displacement is analogous to linear displacement. Now what is the relation between them? You all have seen the formula in mathematics that angle subtended by any arc on the center is nothing but arc length and upon radius. What is the length of arc length of the arc? It is nothing but length of the arc P dash. What is that length? It is S. And what is the radius of a circle? Is R. So relation between R, theta and S is given by this equation. Theta is equal to S upon R, and linear displacement in the particle while performing circular motion is given by S is equal to R theta. This is very important equation that you might have used in the previous standard. So we have completed with the radius vector and the angular displacement. Now the third thing is velocity. While studying the linear motion, you all have seen one quantity, velocity of a particle. Velocity is nothing but rate of change of linear displacement with respect to time. This is the linear velocity. But now the particle is angularly performing its motion. So here we will have to use another term called as angular velocity omega. Angular velocity omega, same as that of a linear velocity. Here linear quantity will be replaced by angular quantity. What is the linear quantity here? S, linear displacement. So instead of writing linear displacement, we are going to write angular displacement. So this will be written as d theta by dt, rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time. And the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity is given by the formula V is equal to R omega. Very important one. So these are the two important expressions that you had used in the last standard to study the circular motion. So circular motion is nothing but the motion of the particle along the circumference of a circle. In the circular motion, you have studied angular displacement and radius vector. Then we have seen the formula for the angular displacement and linear displacement. They both are analogous to each other. Similarly, linear velocity and angular velocity are also analogous to each other. Now the second one is that you will have to recall is kinematical equation. What is kinematical equation? Let's see that. What are the three equations of a Newton in linear motion? If u is the initial velocity of a particle performing linear motion, if v is the final velocity of a particle performing linear motion, that a is the acceleration, linear acceleration of a particle performing linear motion. Linear motion means motion along a straight line. T is the time required by the particle to perform linear motion. Then according to the first kinematical equation, what is the first equation of motion? P is equal to u plus at. Second kinematical equation is S is equal to ut plus half at square. And the third kinematical equation is v square is equal to u square plus 2as. Now we will have, this is the kinematical equations that you had used in linear motion. Now let us write down the kinematical equation in angular motion. In angular motion, let starting just like the starting velocity. Starting velocity here it is written by u. Now we are denoting the angular velocity as omega. So let omega 0 is the initial angular velocity. Let omega is final angular velocity. Now linear acceleration will be replaced by angular acceleration. So let alpha, this quantity alpha denotes the angular acceleration, and time instant is going to remain same in both the frame of reference, whether it is linear or it is angular. So how will you write down the first kinematical equation? At the place of v, what is the final velocity here? Omega. So we will write omega is equal to omega 0 plus alpha t. Second thing, s will be replaced by, linear displacement will be replaced by angular displacement. S will be replaced by theta. Theta is equal to omega 0 t plus half alpha t square. Third equation is omega square is equal to omega 0 square plus 2 alpha theta. So now while studying the circular motion, you have to remember these three kinematical equations. These three kinematical equations will be called as Newton's equation of motion in a circular motion. Okay. Now the third thing that you will have to study is about the forces, real forces and pseudo forces. What do you mean by force? First and foremost thing, let us see what is meaning of force. Force is a quantity which requires to set the object into linear motion. Force is a linear quantity. So force is required to set the object into linear motion. This is a quantity which is required to set the object into linear motion. As per the Newton's equation of motion, force is given by the formula m into a, mass into acceleration. Now mass into acceleration. How will you write down the formula of force in circular motion? Force in circular motion. Let us just write down the formula. Force in circular motion, again formula will be written as mass into acceleration, but this acceleration is the acceleration of a particle performing circular motion. So mass into acceleration is written by the formula you all have studied. It is minus r omega square. So formula for the force in circular motion will become minus mr omega square. This particular force will be acting on a particle for performing circular motion. Now let us see the reality of these forces, how the forces are really, whether these forces are really going to exist or not. Before that, let us consider one example. And let us draw the direction of different quantities over here. Consider uniform circular motion of a particle. Suppose the particle is performing circular motion along the circumference of the circle. Let r is the radius of this circle. Let A is the starting point. Now suppose you are the particle or you are the observer, you are moving along with the particle in the, suppose the circle described by the particle is anti-clockwise. Now let's see the direction of different quantities over here. Very first thing is, as the particle is moving along a line, along a circle, so what would be the direction of linear velocity? What would be the direction of linear velocity? V. Suppose somebody asks you at this particular point, when you are standing at point A, somebody asks you where you are going. So obviously you will say that, as you will show your hand like this. Your hand will be pointed in like this. I am moving along this direction. At this particular point, your hand will be pointed in this direction. I am moving along this direction. At this particular point, your hand will be moving in this direction to show the direction of motion. So every time the direction of motion, in order to show the direction of motion along the circumference of a circle, you need to draw the tangent on a circle to show the direction. This is nothing but the direction of linear velocity. If the concept is not understood to you, what is the direction of linear velocity? For that, you do one practical experience. Take a stone, tie it with a string and rotate it in a horizontal circle. Once the stone gets constant speed and once it starts rotating in a horizontal circle, what you will do is cut the string. Keep it in mind. Cut the rope or cut the string with which you have tied the stone. Suppose at the particular point A, you have cut the rope. So obviously the stone is going to move in which direction? Because the string is cut. The stone is going to move in this forward direction. And then after following this much path, the stone is going to fall under the gravity. It will fall to the floor. So got the concept of direction of linear velocity? It is directed at each and every point on the circle. The linear velocity is going to be directed along the tangent of the circle. Now the next is direction of angular displacement. Let the particle move from point A to point B. Theta is the angular displacement. So how will you show the direction of angular displacement? Angular displacement, as the particle is rotating along the circumference of a circle in an anti-clockwise sense, so you will say that this is the direction of this anti-clockwise sense of direction is the direction of angular displacement. But this is not correct. Angular displacement is a vector quantity and its direction is given by right hand rule. What is right hand rule? You will have studied in the past standard that if the axis of rotation is to be held in a right hand like this. This is the axis of rotation. Suppose this axis of rotation on the circle. What is the axis of rotation? It is the line which passes through the center and perpendicular to the plane containing circle. This is the axis of rotation of a circle. So if this axis of rotation is to be held in a right hand such that fingers curl round it in the sense of rotation, What is the sense of rotation? Sense of rotation is anti-clockwise. So I am curling my finger in the direction of sense of rotation, and the thumb is stretched along the length. Of the axis. Then stretched thumb is going to give you the direction of angular displacement. So here, while performing the anti-clockwise circular motion, the angular displacement is directed along the axis and it is vertically upward. Now suppose the particle is moving in a clockwise direction of rotation. Now how will I curl my finger? It should be like this. So thumb will be pointed inward. So when the motion is clockwise, angular displacement is upward, and when the motion is anti-clockwise, angular displacement will be upward, and when the motion is clockwise, angular displacement will be downward. Let us draw the direction of angular displacement. Suppose this is a circle. I have drawn the circle in a horizontal plane. This is a circle. The particle is performing anti-clockwise circular motion. Now this is the axis of a circle. This is your position A. This is radius vector r directed from center to the position of the particle, and linear velocity is going to be directed tangential. So how will I draw the tangent over here? Linear velocity is tangential to the circle. This is going to represent the direction of linear velocity. Direction of angular displacement as per the right hand rule, since the particle is performing circular motion in an anti-clockwise direction, so angular displacement is directed along the axis, directed in a vertically upward direction. If the rotation is clockwise, then the direction will be along this line. Okay. Now the direction of angular velocity. This is the direction of angular displacement. Now the direction of angular velocity. So we need to see the formula of angular velocity, which is nothing but rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time, d theta by dt. Angular velocity is completely depending on angular displacement. Time is a scalar quantity. So whichever be the direction of angular displacement, that will be the direction of angular velocity. So here we will say that angular velocity is also directed in the same direction as that of. So angular displacement and angular velocity both are given, that their directions are given by right hand rule. Understood the direction of angular velocity and angular displacement. Now let us study the very important one, acceleration. What would be the direction of angular acceleration? What is angular acceleration first? We know that linear acceleration in the circular motion is given by rate of change of linear velocity with respect to time. Then the formula of angular acceleration in analogy with this equation, what should I write? It is nothing but the rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time, d omega by dt. Now to understand the concept of angular acceleration, let us consider one example. Rotation of a moving fan. Initially assume that the fan is switched off. Now switch it on. The fan will start moving. It will start accelerating till it achieves its desired speed. So when the fan is starting its motion, its velocity, angular velocity goes on increasing. It will go on increasing till it achieves the desired speed. Okay, so in the start of motion, the fan is accelerated. Angular acceleration will come over there. Every time the angular velocity is going to be changed till the fan achieves the desired speed. Okay, now so here you can say that acceleration goes on increasing as the velocity goes on increasing. Now second example is switch off the fan. When we switch off the fan, what is going to happen? Angular velocity goes on, obviously speed of the fan goes on decreasing. Finally it will stop back to the state of rest. So speed of the fan will gradually decrease. From highest speed it goes to 0. So this is there is a decrement in the velocity. So velocity is going to be changed, and that's what we are studying. Acceleration is nothing but change in velocity with respect to time. So angular acceleration will come in the fan when we switch on the fan and when we switch off the fan. Okay, when we are switching on the fan, angular speed goes on increasing. Final speed will be greater than initial speed. So this formula will be written as omega minus omega 0 upon dt, where omega is the final speed, where omega 0 is initial speed. So when the fan is accelerating, when it is switching on, omega will be greater than omega 0, alpha will be positive, and it will have the same direction as that of angular velocity. So angular velocity will be upward. Angular acceleration will also be upward. Now once the fan is switched off, here in this formula, at this particular time, omega will be, final velocity will be less than the initial velocity, and this alpha will become negative. So at this particular time, the angular acceleration will be directed in a downward direction, opposite to that of angular velocity. So angular acceleration can have both the direction. It may direct it in the direction of angular velocity, or it may direct it opposite to that of angular velocity as per the acceleration and deceleration of the fan. Okay, so angular acceleration is also given by right hand rule, as angular acceleration is completely depending on the angular velocity. So these were the concepts that we had to study. So let us recall which we have studied. This was the concept of past standard. We have studied the radius vector, we have studied the angular displacement, we have studied the angular velocity, and finally we have studied the angular acceleration. These are the three parameters that we have to study. And the last thing is, you will have to remember all the formulas. First one is theta is equal to S upon R. S upon R, or this equation can also be written as S is equal to R theta. This is the relation between linear displacement and angular displacement. Second thing is, second equation is linear velocity V is equal to R omega. This is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. And the third equation is linear acceleration. Linear acceleration in the circular motion is given by the formula minus R omega square, or it is also equal to minus V square upon R. these are the concepts that you had already studied in the last standard. And in the next lecture we are going to proceed with the further explanation on the acceleration, and we will see the concept of force. Okay, let's stop here.